Okay, so the next thing I like to do when I'm doing my install is get the umbilical cord for the air handler unit installed first, because it's difficult and it makes for an easier installation throughout the process. So if you come in here, I've demonstrated that we have this panel that just pops out. If you take your screwdriver in here and your finger here, you can just lift this panel, this cover plate out. No screws attached to it, and so it simply just snaps in place. And then what you have is a set of terminals for your umbilical cord. There's three of the control wires and a ground, but there's also a retainer which I always remove, and it allows me to feed the umbilical cord through here with a lot more ease, and then it helps me to restrain the wire. In the end, I'll demonstrate as I install the entire assembly. So I'm going to take the umbilical cord, and if you notice, there'll be one end that has sharp little blades on it with the metal fittings, and then there'll be other ones that have larger rubberized coated attachments. So these coated attachments are going to fall through this opening. As a matter of fact, let me do this. If you put your screwdriver down there, you look right through here, you can see a hole. Your screwdriver fits in there perfectly. And that's the direction that these wires are going to go. So I'm going to hand these down. My friend Mark here is going to grab those as they come out the bottom. And you can just stick those straight through. So take that, pull that umbilical cord through. It's a lot easier to push it down than it is to try and get it to come up. So what I'm going to do is, if you look on the back of here, you have three wires. It's a red, a black, and a white. So we just put those in on the same pattern. Now it's important that you loosen these set screws up quite a bit as you're taking them out, so that you can easily get your terminal underneath and tighten down. So if I'm going to do this, I'm going to put my screwdriver away for 1 second so that I can show you how to get that under there. You go down a little bit lower, and then you put that all the way up until you just see that metal collar, or it completely disappears. And then you're going to take your screwdriver, screw it down, make sure it compresses on there, and you can feel it hold the wire, and then you can pull it, and you notice that it doesn't relieve itself, so it's in there properly. Next will be your black wire, and we'll do the same exact thing. And put that terminal line under there. And we'll put it all the way up until the end of the wire disappears, or the metal coupling. Tighten it down and continue to move on. Put our white lead in here. We'll tighten that down. And then, of course, our ground wire is going to go in last. And that's on the far end next to the universal ground symbol. And you'll notice that the color of the screw is actually a little bit more toward the green hue than the rest of the ones. Having a little trouble with this one. Let me get back there now. This is always the most difficult part of the installation for me. I've done plenty of them too, and this is always where I have my difficulty. There we go. I think I got it. No. Okay. Then we tighten that down. And then we let the umbilical cord fall down. And then we take the wire restrainer and we set that back into place over the wire. Get that one in there. that one in, and then we reinstall the cover, which just tucks in here on the sides, pops in, and you'll feel it snap into place. Okay. So then we have that, and we can close that cover.